As we all know, Biden was the actual destruction of the Democratic Party. Not really, but like, he didn't help, and he is just, he really just put the final nail in the coffin. And I wish we could just let him, like, retire, but for some reason, he can't do that. He's too prideful. He has to go on to do interviews.
Is the last living president of this country to have been born during the Second World War.
What's funny about that is he's the most recent president who's out of office, yet the oldest.
I'm told you know this place.
I know this place. Yep, it's the Hotel DuPont. And
my mother works at like a half retirement home, half nursing home, right? I feel like I am watching a video of one of her residents. I'm just saying. I know it's low-hanging fruit to call them old, but I'm just telling you how I feel.
Adolf Hitler, had he won, had there been no united Europe and united with the United States.
I personally have played Wolfenstein: A New Order. I know exactly what that would be like. I'm researched.
It's a great concern. I think it would change the market.
How are you talking slowly and 2 times speed? A lot of people have that power, man. It's possible.
World that occurs. Look, we are not.
Yeah. Listen to that. Listen to that. Yeah. Okay, I'm putting this in normal speed just so we can remind ourselves of what it was like 2 minutes ago.
Change the modern history of the world.
It sounds like slow-mo.
Look, we are not the essential nation, but we're the only.
At the centre of NATO is this promise, isn't it? You called it in a speech I saw in Warsaw a few years ago a sacred obligation, which is
sacred.
There was like a 3-month period where he would not shut up about the NATO alliance, and then he realized no one cares, so he stopped talking about it. Is he back on it now? Do y'all remember that when Biden was like, what we need to really hone in on is NATO. NATO is a strong... Do you think anyone's going like, I wasn't going to vote for Biden before, but this whole NATO alliance thing, I'm a fan of all this. What are you doing?
Defend each
No one
other.
cares.
Do you think
Attack
Donald?
on one is an attack on all.
Do you believe that obligation is still
believe that.
respected by Donald Trump?
Well, he doesn't say it is. And I think the rest of the world, I know one of the only advantages of being the old guy is that I've known every major world leader in the last 30 years, and I've known them personally. And I know all the major world leaders today. And I can tell you, the last meeting of the G7 meeting, the NATO 7, anyway, or the G20, which is a larger group.
Go on.
As we left the meeting, almost every world leader.
This is the hardest thing to react to. It's like reacting to paint dry. You're not giving me anything here, man. Why does he insist on doing this shit?
My democracy is at stake. Every generation.
The question is, does Donald Trump respect... This is the easiest question. This is the most softball question, and he's avoiding answering it because he doesn't know what's happening right now. He doesn't know what Trump's doing. These questions are so easy, Biden could get me to like him right now if he just answered these charismatically.
Let me just repeat them. You know what they're saying.
Wait, what?
Defense Secretary. Let me just repeat them.
Wait, why did you repeat it? Why did he have to repeat it? Did Biden, like, look confused or something? Did he... Was he having a mini episode? What? Hold on, wait, let's get a look at his face. He looks up at Biden and goes, let me repeat that.
Let me just repeat them. The Defense Secretary. Let me just repeat them.
And I think you can hear Biden go, we're not a serious country, dude. We're not serious.
Do we think Putin would have stopped
I can't, man.
President Trump is now saying, look, if you want peace, Ukraine is going to have to give up some territory. Some people think that is common sense to say that. Do you think it's not common sense? It's perhaps modern-day appeasement?
That's such an obvious, insane thing to say. All you have to do is say, would we give up land if Mexico or Canada asks us to? That's it. But he can't do that. He has to go into why NATO's necessary, which is not something people care about.
So you see countries like Romania, for example, having a presidential election, choosing people who are Putin's friends.
I don't even want to say it. Yeah, I worry about it.
What did you make
I don't think he knew that what was going on in Romania, dude. I'm gonna keep it so real.
of those scenes in the Oval Office? President Trump and President Zelensky.
I found it
Has he seen it?
sort of beneath America, the way that took place. And the way we talk about now that, well, it's the Gulf of America. Maybe we're going to have to take back Panama. Maybe we need to acquire Greenland. Maybe Canada should be. What the hell's going on here? What president
That is not beneath.
ever talks like that?
What president ever talks like that? Like a colonizer? I can't think of any. Are you a history buff, Biden?
And NATO brought stability.
Thank you,
You will
NATO.
know what they sometimes say of you, sir. They sometimes say, look, President Biden warned us about this invasion of Ukraine. He did. He led the West in standing up to Putin. He did that. But they sometimes...
Who? Who said... How did he lead the West in standing up to Putin? The president after him was besties with Putin, so the hell did he lead? Well, he stopped liking Putin a little bit after Putin broke their one rule.
Do you think he's behaving more like a monarch than a
It's
president?
even liberals will admit this. You don't have to be a leftist to say Trump is acting like a king or a monarch. Bernie Sanders' oligarch tour is huge, even amongst liberals. This is not controversial. Just say it. Why is he being a wimp about this question? It's so easy.
Oh, I'd rather not comment. I'm not sure how he's being. He's not behaving like a Republican president.
Okay.
You're being diplomatic, sir. What do you say?
Don't be!
I don't see anything that was triumphant.
And you see things to worry about. Do you, when you talk of a threat to democracy?
He has to talk for him. It's like a baby, man.
I think the Republican Party is waking up to what Trump is about.
Do you think they may fight back?
I think the beginning, yes.
But you will know people see laws apparently being broken, courts ignored, Congress sidelined.
Yeah, no, I don't know. How is the Republican Party turning against Trump? They're letting him do whatever he wants, including things that are not legal. Like, what?
Sat down the first meeting, I think it was in February of my first year. And I sat there and I looked and I said, America's back. And Manuel looked at me and said, for how long?
America's so back.
10 days before Dr. Kissinger died, he called me. He said, not since Napoleon has Paris not looked over its shoulder at Moscow with a feeling of dread, but you came along.
Wow, that's great. I'm so glad that Henry Kissinger, a dictatorial war criminal piece of fucking shit, called you up and told you, hey, you're doing a good job, man. What a great argument from, our previous president, Joseph R. Biden, baby. Joseph Robert Biden, thank you. Thank you. Well, if Kissinger likes him.
And for a long time you said, I'm the man who can stop Donald Trump. And you did once. And in the end you withdrew from that election campaign at the last minute. It's a question lots of people ask you, Mr. President. Did you leave it too late? Should you have withdrawn earlier, given someone else a bigger
This is going to be a fun question. I'm actually interested in this interview now.
I don't think it would have mattered.
Hold on, wait. We got to hear how decrepit he sounds throughout this question.
from that? Did you leave it too late? Should you have withdrawn earlier, given someone else a bigger chance?
I don't think it would have mattered. We left at a time when we had a good candidate. She was fully funded. And what happened?
What? He sounds very well rested. Fully funded? Why did you drop out, Biden? You were losing funding.
What we had set out to do, no one thought we could do. And become so successful in our agenda, it was hard to say, no, I'm going to stop now. I meant what I said when I started.
What?
That I think I'm prepared to hand this to the next generation.
He said we did too good? Is that his argument?
It was a hard decision, but
It was so hard. I'm sure it was such a hard decision to drop out after people were telling you to drop out since before you even said you were going to run a second time. I am so... Dude, 2028, are you guys excited to have an actual Democratic primary again, hopefully? Wouldn't that be great? Because we didn't really have one in 2020. We barely did. In 2024, we did not have one. So it would be very cool to actually have a Democratic primary. That would be nice. That would be nice. This is the Democratic
Because they
Party,
felt
our
millions of
leftist
their lives were
party.
going. An incredible.
Leftist.
This is
Leftist
about values as well, isn't it?
Democratic Party. That was a very boring interview. Like, everything they talked about was so boring.
Which
Even when they
goes-
mentioned Trump, who's like the most interesting, like, the most, I want to say interesting, but like, it's hard to not be, you get what I'm saying, right? Anyway, let's just move on to the next thing. Let's just speed race through all this. So, this is,